Hello, welcome back to Simple or Difficult. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create this render. Okay, I'm going to show you how to make these walls, these special type of walls, like having two different textures combined into one. I'm also going to show you how to set up your lights and your camera, and then this floor using the floor generator plugin, and also how to make it. You can see that the floor has different types of, like, each panel has a different map. Okay, using multi-texture, I'm going to show you how to do all that. All right. If you want to see how I did this stuff in 3ds Max using Corona Renderer, stay put, don't go anywhere. I'll see you when I come back. All right, welcome back. Now to begin. So the first thing we are going to do, okay, is to go to customize and confirm our units to make sure that our units are, in millimeters, because the file we're about to import I did it in millimeters. Okay, so head over to the description, go and check. You will see the link to this file I'm about to import now, so you can import yours, and then we'll move along. Where did I document? Okay, version tutorial. I think that is it. Okay, so let's just import it. All right, let me select this camera and delete it. Let me change the viewport to 2 so we can work on one and then set our camera on the other one. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to set our camera. Okay, so first of all, but before we do that, let's go and change our renderer to Corona Renderer. Now let's head over to the camera and then select Corona camera and then draw and hold. Okay. I want to have this camera straight. I want it to be like very straight vertically. So I'm going to align it using this align tool. Okay. You see it's now straight. Then click OK. You see it's straight. Let me get rid of these grids by hitting the G key on the keyboard. Okay. Yeah. So let's set the camera. Come over here on this viewport and click C. Like hover around it and click C, or you can just come over here and select the camera. All right. So first of all, let me select the camera and raise the height to 1000. You can do this manually if that is what you want. Let me change from wireframe to default shading. All right. You can do it anyhow you want. You can pan around, okay, and set the camera anyhow you want it. All right, but I figured that as a beginner, using numbers will be helpful. So let's start with 1000 first, and then let's go over to the modify tab and then turn on this automatic vertical tilt so that the vertical lines will always be straight no matter what we do to the camera. All right, so we're selecting this one and we're going to raise it up a bit, okay, to balance the camera. All right, raise it up a little bit more. Okay. All right, that's good. That's very good. Let's put our save frame to see what we're doing. Okay, because not everything that is on this scene is going to show when we render it. So let's come over here and turn on our save frame. Let's go and set the aspect ratio to what we want. I want to have like, 4:5. Okay, so we say 5. I'm going to lock this. I'm going to make it, it doesn't really matter because for now what we're going to be doing, interactive render, okay? So I'm going to make this one like 1000. Let's just have something there. All right, yeah, so I think that's it. All right, so we're now going to select all the material here and apply a clay material. But before we do that, let's first of all, okay, create the material. So we're going to use Corona Legacy material. I'm going to drag it out over here. Then I'm going to double click on it. So let's create the material. First of all, we're going to start from the color. Okay, we're going to make this, let's say 90. Okay, that's going to make it darker. We're going to select this and put 1 over here. In the glossiness, we're going to put 0.6. Then the color over here, let's make this 150. Okay, let's reduce it a little bit. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and I'm going to do Control A to select everything in this scene, and I'm going to apply this material over there. Okay, everything is selected and applied material. So now, before we start doing things, because this window is part of what, okay, this window is part of what I just selected, and I applied this solid material to it. Now we need this material, the paint material, to be glass. Okay, wait a minute. Let me select this particular one. We need the paint materials to be glass, but we don't really need to do that because we're not seeing the windows. So you can also select them and delete them so that light can just enter. Or if you want, okay, you can detach it and hide it. So later you can always do all those things. But I'm going to delete it because we're not going to see it. So all the doors, the windows, everything, I'm going to select the glass part of it and I'm going to delete it. And this is how I'm going to do it. So I'm selecting this one after the other, like so. I'm going to turn the back. I'm going to select it too, just like that. And delete, you see, it's open now. So I'm going to select, and you see these two windows are connected. As I did it for this one, it also happened for that one. So that is a helpful way of making things faster. So on deleting this, you see, the same thing happened over there to that door. So we are done with that. All right. So it's time for us to add the light to this scene. All right. So first and foremost, we are going to use environment light. First, we're going to apply, add environment light. So to do that, we're going to go to settings. We're going to go to scene, okay? And then change it to single map, all right? Click on none, select Corona bitmap, and then hit OK. All right, so let's go over to where the file is. So this PC, let's go over to downloads, all right? I'm going to put a link in the description where you can get this file from, all right? So now let's start. But before we start rendering, doing interactive, I need to turn off this thing. I don't like the way it looks when it starts rendering. You can leave it on and check. If you like it, then it's fine. Now let's bring out the frame buffer. Let's lock this view so that when we start rendering, it will only show this view. I've explained these things in the previous videos, okay? I'm going to, link up some videos in the description that you can watch so you can get all these things I'm talking about. That is if you don't already get them. All right, so let's start interactive render. You can see there is no light. The light is not much, rather. You can see, patches of light here and there. So first thing we need to do is to increase the exposure, okay? But that's not enough. We need to rotate we need to rotate the HDRI map so we can, get the part that has light, because the sun is directional in the map. So how we are going to do that is we are going to open this thing and then open the settings too. Okay, go over to scene. And then we're going to drag this map over here, and then we're going to say, okay, to instance. Make sure it's instance so that as I'm making changes to this, the change is affecting the one that you have already applied. All right, so what we need to do is rotate the degrees. So we start from 20. Let's see what happens. Okay, nothing much happens. Then 40, 60. Let's increase the pace, 90. You can see that the light is beginning to be brighter, okay? 120. 150. Can always come here and increase this brightness more, okay? But let's keep going first. 200. Can see the light is getting brighter. All right, but that's not it. I want to have shadows, over here like so, okay? Like going towards this wall over here. So 250, let's see 250. Yeah, we are getting there. And mind you, this thing, once you get to 306 exactly, you can see the shadow I'm talking about. So the light is coming from this side now, okay? So once you get to 360, as I was saying before, once you get to 360, the entire thing starts from the beginning, okay? No matter if you add 261, it is going to go back to like 0 and then start from beginning, even though you're adding more numbers, okay? So it is from 0, you know, you can only rotate a sphere 360 degrees, okay? So that's that for that. So we are done with setting our environment light. So I want us to add an additional light to create an effect on this wall over here, to create a shadow using the window on this wall over here. Okay, let me stop this interactive render so we can go over there and do it. All right, so see the window here. Let me add edges. Okay, you can see. Let me minimize this thing. So to create light, come over here, change this into Corona. All right, click on Corona light. All right, change this shape to rectangle, and then let's just draw. It has to be a little light so that the edges will be sharp. If it is a very big light, it's going to smoothen the entire thing. It's going to make it too soft. All right, so let's go to modify and see the width. Okay, I'm going to reduce this even further. Let me see what I'm doing. I'm going to reduce this even further. I'm going to make it tiny, like so. This one too. Yeah. Something like this, something like this, something like this. And I'm going to add target to this light so it will be easy for me to position it where I want. All right, so let me come over here and select the target and then take it inside. Take this one inside too. Raise it up a little bit. And for the intensity, I'm going to like make it like 65. Let's see. Let me position it. Let's go to wireframe mode. Okay. Yeah. Let's see the effect of what we just added. Okay, you can see the light showing on this wall, like so. That is what we wanted to do. Let me keep this thing by the side so you see. By this side rather. So you see. If I should select this light, and then turn it off, the light goes away. Okay, well, when I turn it on, can even make it a little bit, stronger. Let's make it like 70. Okay, you can see it. So I'm going to copy this light and I'm going to duplicate it over here. Okay, copy, not an instance. All right, let me select this camera to see. You can see where the cone of the camera is. Okay, let's set the focal length to 40 to make it wide a bit. All right. You can see where the cone is now. So you select this and try and drag it towards that place so that the lights will be seen on that part. Okay. So for some reason, this place is dark. I don't know. I've been looking at that stuff since it's dark, but that is no problem. That's no issue. We can do what is called an accent light. All right. I'm even going to do it for all this, like this particular light. Now, I don't need the effect of this light on other parts of the building. I want it to be only on this wall. Okay, I want the light to be felt only on this wall. So to do that, to restrict it to only that wall, I will come to this place. You can see these objects excluded. Okay, I'm going to click on it, and then instead of exclude, I'll put it in include, and I'll say okay. All right, you see no object is included, so the wall disappeared. The shadow on that wall disappeared. So when I click on this now, let me shift this into one side. When I click on this now, and then I select the wall, it shows again, but only on that wall now. Okay, the environment light is shining lights on the environment, but that particular light that we put is only casting and shining lights on this wall, casting shadow and shining light on this wall. All right, let's do the same thing for the other lights. Okay, I'm going to select it. Oh, let's go and remove the light. The light entered it. I forgot that the selection is still active. So you have to come out of it this way. Okay, click on this. All right, then you come out of it. and then you select another light, because we want to do the same thing for this light, but on this wall now. All right, so I'm just going to come over here, and I'm going to go to modify, just like we did before. Exclude, okay, plus button, select this. Let me add this frame 2 to it. Okay, because it's still part of the entire thing. All right, so yeah, maybe this too. Okay, yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and make this thing visible to a reasonable degree. Okay, I'm going to stop this. I'm going to copy this light. I'm going to use the same light, but I'm going to copy it and then going to change the size of it. Okay, but for me to do anything, I need to be seeing what I'm doing. You know how we do. Put it in interactive render, and then we tweak it. Let me make this thing bigger. Select this and click on this button to make it big. All right, so I can actually be doing this stuff. Editing this stuff while seeing it at the same time, so I don't have to be moving things around. All right, so for this accent light, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, here, and then the height even bigger. All right, so I'm going to bring it closer to this place. Okay, and I'm going to shift it, and I'm going to reduce. Let me see. Oh, that's a problem. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. It's too high. It's too high. Bring it down a little bit. Yes. Shining light just where I want it. Shift it. Don't worry about it. You can see the light is showing. We're going to take care of that right now. But this light is so bright. Okay, it's so bright. So I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna reduce it to 5. Still too very bright. Okay, 3. Let's see. I'm gonna take it closer even. Okay. And now to get rid of the let me keep it this way. Yeah, let's take it down a bit. To get rid of this light, just come over here to the settings and uncheck everything. Leave caustics on. Okay, everything has been unchecked. But now I need that light to be only on this. Remember what we used to do? Go over here, clear this entire stuff. Okay, say okay, and then let's add it, only it. Okay, it's now as though that place is a bit brighter, so we have to like do something about it. Reduce the intensity to like 2. Okay, yeah, 1.5. I'm not sure again. All right. Let's just, let's increase the accent back to 3. I think that's better. All right, yeah, so that is that. Now, the next thing we need to do, stop this. The next thing we need to do is to create our floor generator and then apply materials, and we'll be done with this tutorial. So to do that is come over here and create a rectangle. Select the 3D snapping so we can snap to this. All right, with the rectangle still selected, I'm going to click on floor generator. It's in standard now, but I want us to use the herringbone. Okay, and I'm going to set it to, the length is going to be 2000. Okay, the width is going to be 120. We're going to apply a special type of material to this, but for now, just leave it as this. And then let's select, and it's already selected, so let's apply this material to it so it doesn't interfere. But then let's be sure where it is. I know it might now be, turn off this thing for you to easily move it down. Okay, let's keep it at 0. Okay. Okay. What it just did. Okay. I think we should just let's see. Let's close this stuff and this stuff. Let me add some thickness to it. Is it fine? I think it's okay. Now let me add a bit of thickness to it. Let's extrude it to like 5. All right. Or say 10. And then increase the bevel to 1. You can see that will increase the opening. So we get to see it properly the way we're supposed to. All right, so now it's time for us to create our materials. Let me stop this for now. There will be 3 different materials, or 4, okay? But 3 mostly, because we're going to apply a different material over here. If you look, you're going to see it. We're going to apply a gray material on this wall and on this wall and on this frame, okay? We're going to apply a clayish looking material, okay? And then on this floor, we're going to have the wooden floor. Okay, we're going to have a light here and a planter here and then some seats here. Okay, 1 or 2, depending. All right, so so let's go ahead and create the material for the wall. Let me open it. Let me be looking at it from here. All right, so I'm going to select this. I'm going to open the material editor. We're just going to duplicate this one that we already have here. Okay. And then apply it to the floor instead. Apply it to the floor instead. And then we're going to use a multi-texture. Multi-texture is an external plugin, okay? There are options for free options there, okay? But mostly it's paid. So I'm going to plug it to the diffuse. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to manage texture, add bitmaps. All right, so I'm going to go over to the project file. Okay, and I put this in. I'm going to select all of them from beginning to end, and I'm going to hit open. Okay, it has loaded. So I'm going to close it and then move it over. So I'm going to apply. It's already applied. Let me just apply it again. I'm going to apply it there. All right. So now I want to create a variation for the reflection, the reflective part of it. All right. So I'm going to bring out color correction, the general color correction. Okay. I'm going to pass this through it. Then I'm going to get output. Where is that? Output map. Output, yes. And I'll pass it through the reflective gloss. Okay. All right, so let's see. Let's see what we have here. Sorry, this one. You can see. Okay. Yes. So let's go over there. We need to desaturate a lot of things. But let's first of all start with from here. Reduce this down to 0. Now, for us to be able to see the effect of what we are doing, like we always do, I'm going to come over here and change this thing to 0. Now we are going. The only thing we are seeing here is the reflection. Okay. So now we're going to select the output, and then we're going to come over here and add a point, change it to smoothing. Now you can see, when I did that, I want you to notice the difference. You can see the effect. You can see the reflection. Okay, for this particular floor, we don't need that much reflection, so we're just gonna, tweak it a little bit. You need to be seeing this thing well. I'm not seeing it well. Like so. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But then this is too reflective, so I'm going to take it down a notch. A notch. A notch. Straighten it a little bit. And then, yeah, let's stop it. Let's go over here, back, and then change this thing back to 1, the diffuse back to 1. And now we need to desaturate this thing as well. Let me remove this. We saturate it very well. Let me see. Yeah. Something like this. Something like this. Let's add a little bit of yellow to it. Exactly. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This is good. So let's create the wall material. Okay, no time. So this wall material, I want to do a different kind of, there's this type of wall I want to do. A very interesting wall. We are going to have 2 walls. First of all, let's find the colors. The color we're going to use before we now start doing any special thing. If we're going to do any special thing, let's apply this one to that particular wall. And then go to the RGB and find it. Okay, so let's take this down. And then this other one too. I want the color to be green. Okay. All right. For this, let me reduce the hue a little bit. Reduce the saturation a little bit as well. You can see the color over here. I'm seeing it. All right. A little bit. And then the value, we are going to reduce even more. I think that's too much. Let's make it like 35. Yeah. So for now, let's do it like this. Okay. Yeah. All right. So this same material we're going to apply over here. So let's just select it at once and apply it. All right. As you can see, it's beginning to come out. So for here, this particular wall, let me select this and this. We're going to use a different material, the clay one. All right, so select it and let's go and create it. All right. Okay. I'm not seeing this one. Yeah, I'm seeing it now. Then 51. Then let's reduce this particular one. Okay. And then like this too. Okay. So I think we need to work a little bit on this other stuff over here. All right. I think it's working fine now. So I'm going to hit OK. Okay. So we are done with the materials, actually. All right, now, so what we need to do is to add details to the material that we just created. Okay, so we're going to do that using composite maps and color correction maps. Okay, so simply gonna come over here, copy this, and paste it here. So have that color there. All right. You can do this with the mix map, but if you want to have more than one layers, okay, I think composite is the best. It's the best. So this is the map we are going to be using. This particular one here. That's what we're going to be using. And I'm going to put it in the mask. All right. Okay. I'm going to make it show it as a shaded material in the viewport. So when we do that, we're going to be seeing this. Now you can see we need to map it because the way the tiling is repeating is not, I don't like it at all. So it's a simple distance. So I'm going to use box. And then for the length, let's just use 15. The width, let's see, 15. We need to make it a little bit, a little bit small. And let's move it around a little bit. Yep. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this. And I'm going to paste it to this one. And I'm going to select it and I'll move it around to have that differences. Okay. But when we render it, we're not going to see the difference because we have not added the other layer. So I'm just going to select this and I will duplicate it. And I'll go over to so that we'll see it very well. I'm going to make it 1.6 for now. You can see the effect of what we just did. You can see it over here. Okay. This is too much. I think it's too much. All right, so I am going to... But before we proceed with making this material, let me stop this thing for now. Let's go ahead and do some settings because this thing is eating up the entire color. You can see. Now that I remove this SSOT, you can see it's gone. The scene just became a little bit brighter. Okay, there's a way we can get something better, just to select this stuff and then reduce it so that we'll remove where we are having highlight bonds like here. Reduce it. Okay, increase it. Sorry. I think it's better now. No, it's too much. Be careful because the thing might start eating your colors. Now we need to add contrast. Let's add advanced filmic mapping. No, not this one. Let's add filmic mapping. Sorry. Take this one. Take it to 1. The ridge shadows. Take it to 1. Okay. So what else? Let's reduce the saturation. Yep. For now, let's leave it like this. Now let's work a little bit more on this map. Let's change the arrangement. That is why I made it to be very, very pronounced. So we'll see it while working on it. Okay. So I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to apply UVW map to this. But instead, I think this one should be bigger. I'll make it 25 instead. Okay. Let me move the map a little bit. Yes. So let's go back to the material and reduce the let's see, 1, 2. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. All right, so we're going to do the same thing for this. Let me see, 1, 3. One, 2 is better, Jerry. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So I'm going to do the same for this particular one. So I'm going to just copy this. I'm going to copy it. But now I'm going to come over here and copy this color. And I'm going to replace it with the one that we have here. The same thing for this as well. And I'm going to plug it to the diffuse. Now let's see the tilings. I see we need to do something. As you can see, it's beginning to show up. Now we are pretty much done with this work. All right. What is remaining for us to do is to populate this thing with actual 3ds Max, models. Okay. Let me increase this one. I think when it's far away, I need to make it a little bit big for me to be able to enjoy the view. Same applies here, and here, and here. That's very good. So I'm not really going to waste time with bringing in the materials for this scene. I'm going to just, show you one. Then I'm going to now bring in the rest. All right. So let me stop this. Yep. But first of all, let me just delete the ones that are here. And then all right, so let's bring it. So to import something into 3ds Max, okay, there are a lot of ways. Now, you're not importing, you're merging. If you import, it's going to close down this file and open the new one you're importing. So to merge, just drag it and drop it and then select merge file. That's all you need to do. Okay? Now let's move this outside. Let's select one of them, the one we want. And then this is the move tool. When you are here in the middle and this square something is highlighted, that means you can move in X and Y axis. If you select only the Y part, you are moving only in the Y axis. If you select only the X part, you are moving the X axis. If you want to rotate this thing, you can see the rotating tool here. You can use it to rotate it. You can turn on the angle so you snap to incremental degree. If you right click on it, you can set the increments of the angles. Okay, over here you can see angle 55 degrees. If you can set it to 90 degrees so that when you are rotating, it's rotating at 90 degrees, as you can see now. All right, so let me return it to 5. You have to right click to be able to open that option. All right, so if you want to scale this stuff, you scale. This is in the inner triangle is X, Y, Z. The outer one is X and Y. If you are on this only this hand, you are scaling only the y-axis. If you are here, you are scaling only the x-axis. Let me undo that real quick. Okay, one more time. All right, so you can now move it over here and then make sure that it is on the ground, not inside it, like it is now. It is inside the ground. So you just raise it up to ensure it's no longer inside the ground. All right, so that's how you import things. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, that's that. So let me just quickly import all that so we can move on. All right. Yeah. All right, so I'm done importing and setting everything the way I want to set it. You can see I added a sofa here, a round rug here, a table, a coffee table with some stuff, accessories on top of it, like food on top of it. And then I have this flower over here, and then this wall art. I added a wall sconce here on this wall, and then a bed with a little bit of, something on top of it, a flower. So let's see how it's going to look. Okay. Now, as you can see, the light that was shining on this wall is no longer showing. That is because we included only this wall, remember? So now for it to show on this particular one, I have to include the wall art too. And to do that, let me shift this into one side. We've got to go select the light. Okay. Click on these add elements and select this. Now you can see the shadows showing up on it a little bit, just a little bit. All right. Mind you can always increase the lighting of that. Oh, I made it 10. I wanted to make it 100. All right. You can see it's more pronounced. All right. Yeah. Can always increase or reduce the brightness depending on the effect you want to achieve. All right, so if when you imported your stuff and some maps are missing, you can always come back here using Relink Bitmap, go to the folder where the files are located and then relink them. Right now, I don't have anything missing, so everything is in order. Okay, so now we are done with, I think we are done with everything. There's no other thing to be done here. Okay, I think I need to reduce the lightness of this wood. I need to make it a little bit darker. Where is it again? And the diffuse, that's where I'm gonna go do it. I'm gonna make it like 0.8. Let's see how that looks. Not that bad at all. 0.6. That's too. It's coming too dark now. I think it's okay like this. This 0.8 is perfect. Okay. Yes. So yeah. All right. So now we are done with editing this floor, the floor material to make it a little bit darker. Let's go ahead and add this LUT. Don't worry. Let's reduce it to like 0.4. Okay. 0.3 even. 0.4 is okay. Let's leave that 0.4. All right. Let's turn on our bloom and glare and then our sharpen. Make this 3. Okay. Let's see the effect. You can see. All right. So now that we're done with all that, there's really nothing else for us to do. Let's go ahead and set everything. Come over here and type 3000 inside here. And then here, make sure that the noise that is set to Corona high quality. And with that, we are all set. Okay, ensure that you save your file before rendering because anything can happen. I don't know, if you are in Nigeria like I am, more things can happen. So ensure that you save so that whatever happens, you can easily just, start from where you left off. All right, so yeah. Let's do the render. All right, so after this, we are going to go over to Photoshop where we are going to, do like a little bit of post-production. Okay, so I'm going to pause this video now. When the render is done, we're going to restart and continue. All right, so the render is done. Now let's go ahead and save it. To save it is quite simple. You can see save over here. You click on the save button. You select where you want to save it. I want to save it on the desktop, so I'm going to write bedroom render toots. Let's stop it here. Change the format to PNG. You can save to whatever format you want, but for the purpose of this tutorial, let's use GNG. The override gamma 2.2. Okay, just put 2.2 there and then hit OK. Now it has saved. Now let's open Photoshop and get on with it. All right, so I've opened Photoshop. Now let's, do a few things, nothing serious. We're just going to open camera raw filter and do one or two, real quickly. First of all, hit auto. You see, I don't want this level of brightness. Let me take it back. Let me use my hand and do. We don't want to brighten. I don't want to brighten the image too much. It's this feeling I want to create. Then increase contrast a little bit. Highlight. Reduce the shadow. Increase the white. Reduce the black. No. It's blackening my black too much. Now I'm going to increase the texture. And I'm going to increase the clarity. Yeah, I'm going to add a little bit of blue. Just a little bit. And then a little bit of magenta. That's before, that's after, before, after, before, after. Okay, so let's go ahead and the detail and, sharpen it a little bit. Okay, just everything, just a little bit. All right, yeah. So let's go ahead and save it. You can see the difference. We already did some level of post-production in 3ds Max. So we don't have to do too much over here. So now that we have done this, we can go ahead and adjustments, okay, and add a little bit of hue. Just a little bit. Reduce the saturation a bit too. You may not notice the difference, but when you look closely, you're going to see it. Okay. That makes a lot of difference, actually, but you may not be able to notice it. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Now let's go ahead and save out. Quick export as PNG. Let's just save it here. Edited and say save. All right. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a like. And if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. Not only subscribing, ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future video. All right. Thank you very much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.